I'm Marilee Snyder-Nieciak, and I'm an author with a chapter in an anthology called Pebbles in the Pond, Transforming the World One Person at a Time. And my chapter is called Death and Beyond, Heaven on Earth. And I would like to read my chapter for you right now. According to Merlin, a wizard is someone who lives their life backwards. I have lived my life backwards. I am a wizard. I died at 26, became an entrepreneur at 36, discovered spirituality and shamanism at 46, married at 56, and became an author at 65. On December 12, 1972, I was working for the Australian consulate in Chicago. I was in my office coughing when coworkers said I really needed to go to the hospital. So off I went to the emergency room. In the ER, I was told my right lung had collapsed from a body full of blood clots. I was not going anywhere except to a hospital room and then to the nuclear lab. I was sitting on the side of the bed, smoking a cigarette, when they brought oxygen for me, totally unaware of how sick I was. No one honestly believed my survival was possible. The doctor said, "You will die. All we can do is give you oxygen and blood thinners every 4 hours to dissolve the blood clots. But if you survive, you can never have children. You need to lose 50 pounds and quit smoking." I told him nobody was knocking at my door. The next thing I knew, I was in the upper corner of my room, looking down at my body lying in bed. Everything was gray. My body, the sheets, the walls, and the floor. And there was the light. The air was different. It shimmered and sparkled, full of crystal particles. It was soft like mother of pearl, shimmering very pale colors of pink and lavender and turquoise and gold and silver white. Nothing I had ever experienced on earth. I can go there any time as if it just happened. Lush, green, rolling hills climbed gently toward a low line of purple mountains. Behind the mountains was the most extraordinary, bright, luminous light of gold and white, very different from the air. It was the other side. I heard an almost inaudible singing and felt soothed, caressed, and nurtured. Faces with no bodies greet me. I know them. My great-grandparents and my granddaddy. The other side feels very safe, loving. For the first time I can remember, I have no physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual pain. There is just the most incredible sense of peace, unconditional love, and compassion for myself, everyone, and everything. Feeling safe allowed me to hear my family say, "The choice to stay and never feel pain again is yours." For up to this moment, my life had been filled with fear and pain from orthopedic surgeries, continual psychic attacks, plus the emotional and benign neglect of my mother. I had taken on her fears, trying to make everything okay, to make her like me. Then there was my brother's alcoholic abuse, which escalated upon his return from 2 tours in Vietnam. My mother never acknowledged his addiction, and during this time, at 23, I was raped at gunpoint after moving to Chicago's near north. I came home only to be sent to my room. Mom never once discussed the incident. I had a figure like Sophia Loren, yet my mother continually gave me mixed messages, saying that I was fat, ugly, yet extremely intelligent. It wasn't fun being me. As I stared at this incredible bright light, my life flashed before me. For the first time, I knew God existed and is loving, kind, and compassionate. A huge revelation for an agnostic. In an instant, there was a knowing. I remember saying to my grandparents, "I have to go back. There is something that I have to do. No specifics, just that I was to go back. I woke up in the most excruciating pain, like I was being stabbed in the back on my right side. For the 5th time in 26 years, I was hospitalized. What I remember the most from my death experience was the incredible gift of love, actually experiencing it for the first time. It has been a long, continual journey of transformation and remembering who I really am each decade, from the beginning to now. Grace and faith came to me with the shifting from linear to circular thinking, trusting my knowing, learning that as a small child full of light, I did know the truth. I remember saying to my friends, my heart is so full of love, and I don't know what to do with it. According to Carl Jung, your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Our vision is a reality, heaven on earth. We live on 21 acres of woodland called Sage Spirit Terra, meaning healing spirit land. It is a long way from Chicago and many years in the making, for first it was a vision that started long ago in the dream time. Yet in 1963, everything had changed. I had won every award available in my first year of junior achievement going to the National Convention. Then my dad told me we were moving to Chicago and left me behind in Indiana to finish high school. Everyone moved in August. In September, my granddaddy died, leaving me with my grieving grandmother. In 1965, I needed my father's written permission to attend Purdue University's Kramer School of Business. Paying for my own education, I graduated in 1969, one of 5 women. After healing from the blood clots and receiving emotional counseling, one day in 1974, I quit my job and booked a flight to Italy. Thanks to a pickpocket in Milan, I lived creatively on $400 and my rail pass for 6 weeks. I started to awaken. Upon returning, friends put me to work renting subsidized housing in a Chicago ghetto, which led to a successful career in real estate nationwide. Dale Carnegie classes in 1976 helped me with self-esteem, but I still did not know or love myself. In 1982, I met Sonia Choquette, who gave me a reading and said, Marilee, you need to make the inside as beautiful as the outside. What I have since learned is transformational healing comes from the inside out, from above down on the whisperings of spirit. In 1982, I attended a landmark weekend and founded my first business, marketing and managing high-rise buildings in Chicago. In 1988, I opened Gold Coast Cleaning and Contracting. This gave me weekends and evenings off to study in my sacred secret garden. After 14 years, I gave the business to my employees. Rumi said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. From 1991 to now, my healing and growth has been exponential. Linda Howe taught me the Akashic Records. Michael Harner and Sandra Ingerman taught me shamanic journeying, extraction, divination, soul retrieval, and how to carry souls home. Michael Soto is Reiki Master to Anthony Pizzoferrato, my Reiki Master. Each provided spiritual awakening with direct revelation, insights, experiential and transformational healings, and many initiations. Indigenous teachers started coming in 2000. Ipupiera and Claycha came to my Healing Waters event on the crystalline sands of Lake Michigan in 2001 and 2002, which we continued with our store, Earth Partners, a spiritual store where we met the Mitchell Hedges Crystal Skull. I learned quantum healing with Young Living essential oils. With extensive training, I became an internationally certified quantum biofeedback practitioner. In 2005, I was initiated as a purification lodge keeper and pipe carrier. Each modality is quantum healing because it comes from Source, God, Creator, down. In 2007, using everything I know, plus forgiveness for myself, I transmuted the cancer in my liver, right lung, and right breast. As my deceased sister, Connie, stood guard. When the forgiveness was complete, she left, covering me with a blanket of light. I was then awarded a Sundance Buffalo Skull in May and hosted the World Drum in July at our home, Sage Spirit Terra. During these years, I cried buckets of tears as I experienced many setbacks, deaths, and bankruptcy. With continual meditation, prayer, forgiveness, ceremony, my consciousness expanded to include, to accept, and to embrace both the light and the darkness, including those souls that lowered their light to teach. In dying, the shaman is shown the oneness of the web of life. I experienced the light as the light of individual souls, like individual leaves on the black tree branches of the one tree of life. By definition, I am a wounded healer shaman, learning to heal myself to help others. In 2011, I was given a new assignment, write about the original 13 crystal skulls, to write once a month. For 6 months, I needed soul retrievals, shamanic healing to remove the fear, doubt, and pain, and receive the love, confidence, and trust. Shifting into my heart, I continually heal my barriers to love, raising my vibration and consciousness, thus allowing space for you to make the paradigm shift to be kinder and more loving. I came back to love you as your shaman, healer, and teacher. What will you do?